Hello guys, so it's the last day of the holiday already. It doesn't feel like we've been here 5 minutes, let alone a whole week already. It actually looks quite nice now, but it's been pretty miserable all morning, so we weren't planning to do the beach. Even though the sun's come out and it probably looks quite nice in the footage, it's still pretty windy. Surf is not going to be any good, it's on shore still. So we've decided we're just going to have another run out to Newquay. On the way there, I'll try and give you a rundown of where all the beaches are, give you an idea of where we're staying. This is obviously the Porthcothan caravan site, or I don't know what they actually class it as. There are like cottages and caravans and stuff here. Amy's going to drive, so as we're going through I'll point out all the beaches between here and Newquay for you. I'm by no means local, so I don't have loads of knowledge on them all, but I'll tell you what I know. So the first beach we come to, it's literally half a mile from where we stay, half a mile's walk. It's just down this hill right at the bottom of the valley. It's called Porthcothan. It's generally where it's at low tide. You can't really surf it at high tide, even though I have tried before. You probably can't see on this lens at the moment, but the flags there kind of confirming what I said. The wind's howling on shore. Sea's a bit of a mess. It's a really nice beach though, nice for surfing and just for bathing and things. It's really long at low tide, so plenty of room for loads of people. It's quite a long way out of the centre of Newquay. You can also access it down here, and you can park down there too, so you don't have to be staying nearby to make use of it. At low tide there's a little cove as well, just on the left hand side. It's a really nice little bay. Definitely recommend it if you're in the area. One thing I'm really into that I haven't concentrated on so far in this vlog is cycling. The roads are super narrow here, so I didn't bring my bike. I was a little worried about using them. As you can see, here comes another guy. They're so hilly. I think for anyone who's into cycling, the actual roads themselves would be really fun. Like I say though, for me, I'm not sure if they're a little narrow and a little fast traffic wise. I'm sure there's information out there on the internet though if you want to look into how safe and where's best to do it. The next bay we come to down between Porthcothan and Newquay is called Mawgan Porth. A great example of what I was just saying about cycling as well. If you're into cycling up hills like I am, how good does this look? It goes right down into that valley and then right up again on the other side. Pretty much every beach you come to as you're going down just goes down so steep like this, and then back up the other side, up that hill where the cars are coming down on the other side, if you can see that. As I say, for me it was just the narrow roads put me off doing it, especially because they're quite quick, narrow roads, not being familiar with them. Here's the beach though, Mawgan Porth down at the bottom. If I'm honest, not a beach I've ever surfed, somewhere we've wanted to surf, but there's so many little coves and beaches around here, you just can't surf them all in, well, we used to come for 2 weeks, I'm here for a week at the moment. You can see there though, it kind of gives a great example of how Porthcothan doesn't work at low tide, because the swell running through there is so much bigger. I think that's a break. As I say, I've not surfed there. Oh, you might recognise this place from yesterday's vlog, Disco Beads. This is where their shop is that we were at yesterday. So the time lapse I did yesterday was up here too. As I was saying though, not a break I've surfed before, so I'm probably not the best to be giving advice on it. I think from when I drove past, it always seems to look better at low tide than high. If anyone's surfed here before or anything like that, by all means chime in the comments, let me know if I'm wrong, or let me know when it's best to surf this place. But yeah, and again, cycling wise, look at this hill. Roads wise, there you go, they're like we say, super narrow roads, people walking on them, driving fast down them. Bit of a nightmare. Yeah, kind of glad I didn't bring my bike. This angle from my view anyway, hopefully in the camera gives quite a good scope of all the little bays as you look across. So the one we're coming up to most closest is Watergate. That's probably the nicest in my view of all these beaches. Obviously everyone's got their own views on stuff like that, but I think it's the prettiest. It's where me and Amy got engaged a few years ago now. There's loads of restaurants on the beach. I say loads, there's a couple of restaurants on the beach. There's a hotel there, really nice hotel, really nice food there. It's high tide currently, but at low tide it runs right down and connects right down to that furthest beach you can see right down there at the end. Then right around the corner of that headland are the main Fistral beaches. So once we get down here, I'll try and give you a better view of it. This is perfectly surfable at high tide, I think. I've always had, straight on babe, this is perfectly surfable at high tide, but in my view it seems to be better at low every time I've surfed it anyway. If you go back a few days on my videos, I'll link it below, but the surfing video, the point of view surfing video I put up was here. The surf wasn't great, so don't take that as an example of how good a beach it is. That is how it was the day we surfed it, but nowhere was particularly great on this side of the coast that day. Everybody was on shore. But again, look at the roads, perfect for cycling if you're braver than me and dare brave the traffic. Little surf spot check here where you pull up and check the surf. This field here as well is where they do, I don't know if they still do it there, in all the previous years this is where they've done the Boardmasters Music Festival. Made me scared to cycle up these. Look at these guys. Get to the beach with their boards, so I thought to do it. Another great view over the bays. The hill we're going down to now takes us to a beach called Porth. Not particular surfing beach, so I've not got a lot to say about it, but I'll give you a bit more of a closer shot when we're down there. Right to the top of this hill, and then there's like a roundabout thing, so it's right or third left at the third exit at the roundabout. You're doing good though, babe. Stressful roads down here, narrow, especially when you don't know the directions. Amy's driving there because she's much better at parking than me. So I've arrived in Newquay now. We don't actually know what we're going to do here. We've been around all the shops already. We're here pretty much just for the day out to do something basically, so we'll figure out what we're going to do now. Yeah, there you go, cheers babe. We're just saying how I'm getting pretty depressed with being the end of the holiday. Amy's like, it's not the end of the holiday yet, we've got 2 days off work still.
Saturday, Sunday.
But it's getting to that phase where you're starting to think about going back to work and back to reality. So we'll try and make the most of today and make the most of the last couple of days off. This is Tolcarne. We kind of missed one out on the drive down because there's one around the corner called Lusty Glaze. You can kind of see it's a wedge break off that rock. It tries to wedge. That pointing right, my pointing is terrible. Right there, kind of wedges. It's not doing it perfectly today. It's quite small. You can see it's slightly sheltered though. It's a bit cleaner than the other breaks. You can see that one there just bouncing off the edge that if there was a bit more swell running, that wedge would probably be working today. It's really tide dependent though. We get such big tides in England that it needs a decent height tide to come in, but it can't be too big. It's so temperamental. It's not, the locals have quite a good idea of when it'll work and what size swell to tide ratio it needs. I can't give you all that because I don't know it. I just come and check it, serve it as often as I can. I've not had a chance this year. Just round the corner, I can't remember the name of that beach, that's another sheltered break though. Ideal when the surf's like this, you can kind of see there's a pack of surfers just sat out there. You can see all the swell having to wrap around that headland right there. It's coming in here. The wind, you can maybe see from those flags down there that it's just a bit more sheltered. It's blowing sort of cross on shore here rather than just straight on. But the wedge there is trying to work, you'll see. Really fun when it's on.
Oh, that was scary.
So top of the grass mound, just the bay basically from the other angle. I think the beach, I couldn't remember the name, was Porth Tower. Look on top of that house there, how sick would it be to live right on that island of its own. It's pretty cool. As you keep going round, you've got Tolcarne, Lusty Glaze. I think Lusty Glaze is right there, and then Watergate Bay will be down here. You can see why it's so much cleaner, just sheltered from this harbour. Lovely area, lovely watercolour. Nice to have the sun's come out anyway. It is hard work walking into this wind and up the hill. We're heading towards the main beach in Newquay now, Fistral. Amy's favourite because of a certain hotel where they filmed the film Witches. I don't know how big that is outside the UK. I'm sure anyone of my age will probably seen it and been scared to death as a kid. So I'll show that when we get down there. Here we are at Fistral, right behind me. Where am I? This is the hotel that I was talking about where they filmed the film Witches. mist and or rain rolling in. Unfortunately I couldn't get the time lapse stable enough to film that exactly, but the rain's now landed, so we are going to go get a coffee. You can see it blowing in there, look how strong the wind's blowing off the sea. Bye bye. So me and Amy are leaving because thanks for watching everybody eating while we're not. We've already had dinner, but all the food smelt. Amy? All the food looked and smelt so good in there that we were just wanting to eat again, which isn't good, so we're off. Braving the cold again. After my little tour of Newquay this morning, I thought it would be quite handy for anybody. Got the point head there. Fistral we've just been, Towing Head. And this is the other side, so we've got Towing on the inside, the most sheltered break. Great western around from that. Tolcarne, Lusty Glaze, Porth. And that's when, as if you kept going up like this, that'll take you down to Watergate and back home to where we're staying. Just a couple of times, I kind of just wanted to get it on camera. How cool is that graffiti? And I love the gates as well with the waves. So we're cracking. After leaving that place because we didn't want to eat, we're now here because we're going to eat Cornish pasties. You've got to do it though.
Got to do it.
Let's go.
When in Cornwall.
Are we getting them?
Yeah.
So we cracked walking back and got focus, got pasties. The smell of food in Rick Stein's place clearly just sent us to despair. So what did we get? We got names on the back.
We got chicken Thai chicken and we
spicy
got
chickpea and potato.
Yeah.
So we've got one each, but we're going to split them in half.
Yeah.
And we'll do some reviews. Not reviews, we'll tell you what we think of after. I'm not done with self-eat though. So we've just devoured our Cornish pasties. I think my favourite was it spicy chickpea and potato, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Spicy chickpea and potato, that was my favourite.
Well.
I think the taste of the Thai chicken was really nice as well though, but I always like that veg type of consistency and stuff, so I think that's what gave it the edge for me. But both of them were really nice. Definitely recommend checking this place out if you're in Newquay and wanting pasties, which let's face it, when you're in Cornwall you have to have at least one while you're down here. Which was your favourite?
The spicy chickpea.
There you go, 2 out of 2 for the spicy chickpea recommendation.